Hey, what's going on, all of my friends? Welcome to Gamers with Gains. So, Nintendo continues to have the fire set to their ass with all of the stuff that's being posted around about Fire Emblem Fates. The game is coming out very, very soon, but the game continues to be bombarded with all this different controversy. A lot of people have opinions about all the different types of adjustments and changes that Nintendo is actually making to the game before its North American release. It's already out in Japan currently now, so we have an idea of what the full game, unaltered and all this other stuff, without it being messed around with, what that actual experience is like, but with Japanese dialogue and no subtitles and such. However, for the North American release, there's a lot of changes that are coming, with some scenes being removed and some things actually being adjusted. But even more so, something that's actually getting even more flack for Nintendo is this idea about the whole petting mini-game that was included in the Japanese release of Fire Emblem Fates is getting removed completely for the North American region. Now, here's the thing about this. I actually saw Etika's full stream about this where he kind of discussed with the viewers on stream about whether this was good or bad. He gave his opinions and stuff, and I really encourage you guys to go check it out. I'll leave a link right here in the description box, or at least, right here on the screen, so that way you guys can actually check it out. And then when you're done with that, come back here so we can continue the discussion. Now, here's the thing. Fire Emblem Fates is pretty much a Fire Emblem game. Fire Emblem as a series has always been known for its tactical RPG elements, as well as also like the whole type of nature with the character design, the music, and everything else about that. Fire Emblem Awakening was a big hit on the Nintendo 3DS. It really caused a lot of kind of publicity, a lot of stir for Nintendo's handheld system, and it really kind of brought that series from the depths of kind of like mediocrity and kind of like forgetfulness. Now, here's the thing about this though. A lot of people are making a big deal about this whole petting minigame and feeling like it's censorship, that it's something that should be like an intimate part of the game, that it's really key to actually building the relationships between characters and stuff, and I completely disagree with this. Here's the reason why. The Fire Emblem Fates and Fire Emblem Awakening specifically really kind of built relationships between characters by pairing them up on the actual maps when you actually went through and played the game. You kind of like learned more about the characters and saw their relationships build through dialogue, and you were able to receive different items and bonuses to stats and even sometimes weapons every time that you actually paired two characters up together. A variety of different effects would happen, which would also end up leading into marriage, which would also have the different child characters like the second generation that's part of like Lucina's like future generation would actually show up in some form or another, depending on what goes down and like who you paired up with who and whatever went down. Now, with Fire Emblem Fates, it seems like they're going to continue this kind of trend with that kind of like whole kind of like relationship building and such, but they decided to add in this whole kind of like petting minigame, which is basically, if you look at some of the footage, I'll actually try to see if I can put something up here so you guys can see it. It's just you taking the stylus and just petting the actual hair at the top of the head of the different characters. Now, while this might be kind of like, has some sort of innuendos or some kind of implicitness to it or whatnot, it's not necessarily bad per se. But at the same time, I never actually thought, and actually looking at all this gameplay footage, there was any sort of like key nature to the game that was being played. I didn't feel like, you needed to do this stuff in order to kind of progress yourself through Fire Emblem Fates, at least from my understanding. Again, the game is not here and released in stores in North America just yet. But on top of that, even more so, this kind of feels a little bit out of place for a Fire Emblem game. It doesn't seem like it really kind of like has its place outside of, again, just building the relationships and stuff, which could be done by pairing the two characters up together in battle on the maps. Are we really kind of like necessarily losing out on something by actually not having this actual mini game in the actual North American release? Is it something that really people are so kind of like gravitating towards? Are they so high on the fact that it's a quote-unquote waifu simulator, or it's like pretty much it puts you on a much more personable level with the characters that we need to have this and cause such a big stir? Or is it something that really we're just kind of latching onto and forgetting about the fact that what Fire Emblem is really all about is the tactical gameplay? All the story and the relationship building and everything else kind of comes second to the actual core game. So for me personally, again, just my personal opinion and kind of like, again, just bringing you guys this kind of facts and stuff, I feel like we're not really losing out on much by not having this petting actual minigame included in Fire Emblem Fates in the North American region. Now, there's been rumors circulating around from a bunch of different places that both I believe it's the European edition, like the UK, France, and all these other places, Italy and such, are also going to be getting censored as well. That ended up being a host. There was kind of like this Reddit post that was getting posted around and shared with different people saying that like they were going to remove even more from the actual game and even remove the homosexual relationships in it, which, again, absolutely preposterous. I don't see why Nintendo would do that, especially if they got so much flack by actually including something that was even hinting at the idea of getting rid of homosexuality. Again, there's a lot of stir with this game, and not only is it an exciting time for everybody that's a fan of the Fire Emblem series, because we're getting a brand new game and everybody seems to be talking about it, but this could also work to Fire Emblem Fates' benefit because so many people are talking about it, because so many people are getting involved and actually opening up the discussion about Fire Emblem as a series, especially for this new game. There's a lot of changes for this series that's happened already for over the past 10 or so years, ever since it first came out back on the Famicom and such. Now we're getting multiple versions of a brand new game which offers different experiences, as far as narrative and plot is concerned, with even more on top of that with DLC that's both free and paid after the initial release. This is very, very cool. But at the same time, I want to kind of implore you guys, don't make such a big deal over something that's so insignificant, something that's so small compared to all this other stuff that's part of the core game. We're still going to have an amazing release with Fire Emblem Fates. I'm going to be reviewing it for the Koalition. I'm really excited about it. I'll be giving my thoughts here on the channel for all of you guys. And I encourage you, again, really just focus on the core game. Don't lose your whole minds, okay, and get all crazy. Start starting up petitions and stuff for Nintendo to include some small little mini game that they felt that maybe the North American audience wouldn't really kind of resonate with. It might be a thing in Japan, and that's literally a thing in Japan. That's part of their culture and stuff, as far as the whole patenting culture, the whole waifu type of culture, and all this other stuff that I really don't want to get into in this video. But for us here in North America, at least here in North American gamers, or people that are on this side of the world, the Western Hemisphere and such, we really, again, have different tastes. We have different types of preferences and such, and maybe you might be into this type of thing, and you might be actually upset that they're taking it out as such, but there's still that many more people that are really kind of against it, and there's really that many more people that are really kind of don't care about this whatsoever. So I don't think it's such a big deal that we're losing such a little small part of the game. I don't think it's as intricate and as kind of key to the actual core experience of Fire Emblem Fates as what a lot of other people are trying to make it out to be, but either way, guys, that's just my opinion on the matter. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think about this whole controversy. Do you think that Fire Emblem Fates is really getting butchered, that we're losing out on a really core part of the actual game by not having this petting minigame? Or do you guys really not care that you actually still want to play the tactical RPG nature of Fire Emblem and experience the story as it is right now and all the cool stuff that's going to come with it? Or if you have a comment about the DLC or anything else related to Fire Emblem Fates or the series or whatever, put it in the comment section below. I will talk to all of you guys again real soon. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, post a comment, subscribe to the Gamers with Gains channel. Peace out, stay epic everybody.